Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for subscribing. That means a lot to me. And I want to give you the biggest difference that you will see in every jig. Now, every jig is made a little bit different, but the main thing you need to focus on is the hook. Now, there are jigs that are made for cover. They come in a bunch of different shapes and sizes, and they are going to have a bigger, stronger hook on them. And then you have jigs that are not made for cover, and they're going to have a lighter wire hook on it. And the reason for that, obviously, when it comes to the bigger hook, you need a little bit stouter hook to pull those fish out of cover. And then that smaller wire hook is for a jig that you might throw a mile out there, and you set the hook and you need that smaller wire to penetrate that fish's mouth better. So these are very important when you're fishing around cover. You might hook into that 6 or 7 pounder and it goes in a tree, and when you pull too hard on it, it straightens your hook out. So that's something you really got to focus on. Today is going to be all about me fishing cover and how I break that down with a couple different jigs, because I really do feel like it is important on how many bites you're going to get using the right equipment. So I've showed you this earlier. Now this is a ball head jig. This is a finesse jig, and I like it because it has that bigger hook. That's really the only attribute of this jig that makes me throw it, is that I can put this on 17-pound test with a flipping stick, pitch it under docks, around trees, whatever it may be, and I know that if I got to horse a fish out of there, I'm not going to fail the hook. The hook's not going to bend out. So this is a very subtle bait. In the ball head, I can fish it in trees, rock piles. Maybe I'm going down the bank and there's a boat ramp. I can cast that over to a boat ramp. I can fish this the same way I would fish a spinnerbait, a chatterbait, or crankbait. I can just cater to those fish that are sucked down to the bottom. Maybe they're not biting as well. I can really keep it in front of their face. So this is one of those baits that is very versatile. This is one of those baits that's not. This is strictly for wood. If I tried to flip this into rocks, it'd probably get hung up. So this is strictly for docks, laydowns, maybe some bank grass. But for the most part, this is a very one-dimensional jig. Well, where's my go-between? Let's say I want a bigger profile than this. I want the same profile as this, but I need it to be versatile. If I'm going in the back of a creek and there's a lay down, there's a little point that comes out, I need something I can fish down the point of rocks, maybe that boat ramp, or maybe, you know, some grass, whatever it may be. I need something that has all the attributes of this smaller jig and what I'm looking for in this bigger jig. So I have found this jig. This is a ball head, a little bit bigger, and then the most important part is that bigger hook. So when that big fish runs into the cover, I know I can lean on him and pull him out of there. So I'm really getting the best of both worlds, you know, that we have here in this jig. So this is a finesse jig, but it also has a ball head, so I can fish in a whole lot of different places. Now, let's say I really get dialed in and I'm just fishing docks, or the only cover in the water is laydowns. Then I'll go back to this jig. Or let's say I'm fishing water willow along the bank and it's in 2 feet of water, then I'm just gonna stick with this. But if I need something that I can cast around, I'm not just purely flipping it, I'm casting it to different targets. There's all kinds of different cover in the water. And the fish are biting pretty good. I'm gonna go up to this jig. It's just a great in-between size, and it's very versatile. So I thought I had it narrowed down where I could just catch all my fish on these 2 jigs, and I find that there is a place in time where you've got to bring in this jig, and it's just a little bit different, but it has both of the qualities that I'm looking for in those other 2 jigs. So thanks for watching, guys. Try that, and I'll see you on the water.